book that says all shapes matter. Meet the characters: circle, triangle, rectangle, square, octagon. Once upon a time, in Turning Corners Elementary School, it was the first day of school. For triangles, rectangles, squares, octagons, and circles. Triangles, rectangles, squares, octagons, and circles had a busy first morning, meeting their teachers, learning aloud, and then eating lunch. After lunch, they finally heard an announcement. On the school radio, they were all eagerly waiting for recess. All the shapes headed straight to the playground. The squares were the first ones out. They headed straight to the swings. The triangles, rectangles, and octagons then ran over to other parts of the playground. The triangles headed to the slide. The rectangles headed to the monkey bars. The octagons headed to the tunnel slide. After playing on their own for some time, the shapes decided it was time to play with the other shapes and get to know them better. The triangle introduced itself. "Look at me," said the triangle. "I have 3 sides and 3 corners. I can make myself look like an arrow or make myself look like a slide." The rectangle introduced itself. "Next, look at me," said the rectangle. "I have 4 sides, 4 corners, and my opposite sides are equal. I can make myself look like a flag or make myself look like a food tray that we use during lunch." The square continued with the introductions. "Look at me," said the square. "Like the rectangle, I too have 4 sides and 4 corners. In fact, I am a special type of rectangle with 4 equal sides. I can get together with other square friends to make a Rubik's Cube or make myself look like a diamond that sparkles. I can make myself up." The octagon introduced itself last. "Look at me," said the octagon. "I have 8 sides and 8 corners. I can make myself look like a trampoline or make myself look like a stop sign." At about the time the octagons were done introducing themselves, along came 2 circles who excitedly asked, "Can we tell you something about us too?" The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons had never met a circle before and were not sure how to respond. They said, "You have no sides, you have no corners. You look the same no matter how much you turn. You cannot make yourselves look like any fun objects." The circles became very sad because of what the other shapes said. They decided to go away to a corner of the playground. Triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons were so glad they had many sides and corners. Once the circles left, they said to each other, "Since we have so many sides and corners, let's build something fun together. Let's build a school bus." They're like, The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons came up with a plan to build the school bus. I will be the windshield. I will be the windows. I will be the doors and the frame. I will be the stop sign. The triangle, rectangles, squares, and octagons worked hard to build the school bus. The hard work of the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons paid off as they finished building the school bus. They all said, "Let's take our school bus for a ride." However, there seemed to be a problem as the school bus would not move, try as they might. The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons could not figure out what they were doing wrong. Meanwhile, the circles were watching what was going on as the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons struggled with the school bus. The circles had an idea. The circles walked over to the school bus and said, "We can help you. We may not have any sides or corners, but that's what makes us unique. Our round shape not only allows us to roll around easily, but can also help you to move along. Let us show you what we mean by getting under that fantastic school bus you have built." The circles went under the school bus, and just like how the squares became the windows, the rectangles became the doors, the octagons became the stop signs, the circles became the wheels. The circles started turning, the other shapes became overjoyed. Their school bus started to move now. The shapes had a lot of fun going around the playground in the school bus. All the shapes were thrilled, happy, and content at what they built together during recess. Back at recess, the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons each had something to say to the circles. "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons learned something very important. That day, it doesn't matter if you have one side, two sides, three sides, or no sides. It doesn't matter if you have one corner, two corners, three corners, or no corners. It doesn't matter if you can make one object, two objects, three objects, or no objects. Circles, we learned our lesson, and we are very sorry we made you feel bad about yourselves. The circles accepted the apologies and forgave the triangle, rectangle, squares, and octagons. Thank you. We may not all look the same, but we sure can build a lot of fun things if we work together. We need to respect each other. This is despite our difference. The shapes said it doesn't matter what shape we all come in. The only thing that matters is being nice and accepting each other for who we are. We all need different shapes with sides or without sides, sides with corners or without corners. The shapes were so happy to learn such a valuable lesson that they held hands together and shout out, "All shapes matter!" The end. Thank you for watching my videos. Like and subscribe my channel.